Hi, are you
Good
with us?
morning.
You came back? Good.
Came back after yesterday, you mean? Oh, yeah,
Good.
the world I see holds nothing that I want.
Yes.
Mm.
But, lesson 129, beyond this world, where there's nothing that I want, there is a world I want.
Hooray!
Oh, God, I love good news. Yes. Okay. This is the thought which follows from the one we practiced yesterday. You cannot stop with the idea this world is worthless, for unless you see that there is something else to hope for, you will only be depressed.
You can say that again.
Our emphasis is not on giving up on the world, but on exchanging it for what is far more satisfying, filled with joy, and capable of offering you peace. Think you this world can offer that to you? It might be worth a little time to think once more about the value of this world. Perhaps you will concede there is no loss in letting go all thought of value here. The world you see is merciless indeed, unstable, cruel, unconcerned with you, quick to avenge, and pitiless with hate. It gives but to rescind, and takes away all things that you have cherished for a while. No lasting love is found, for none is here. This is the world of time, where all things end. I think that's so helpful. That's what we need to really just be radically honest about. Take those things that you cherish, put them under the spotlight, look at them with Holy Spirit, and ask yourself whether it truly brings you peace, an unchanging love, a joy, a changeless joy. Is it a loss to find a world instead where losing is impossible, where love endures forever, hate cannot exist, and vengeance has no meaning? Is it loss to find all things you really want and know they have no ending and they will remain exactly as you want them throughout time? Oh, baby. Yet even they will be exchanged at last for what we cannot speak of. For you go from there to where words fail entirely, into a silence where the language is unspoken and yet surely understood. Communication, unambiguous and plain as day, remains unlimited for all eternity. And God Himself speaks to His Son as His Son speaks to Him. Their language has no words, for what they say cannot be symbolized. Their knowledge is direct and wholly shared and wholly one. How far away from this are you who stay bound to this world? And yet, how near are you when you exchange it for the world you want? Now is the last step certain. Now you stand an instant's space away from timelessness. Oh, that's key. Here can you but look forward, never back to see again the world you do not want. Here is the world that comes to take its place as you unbind your mind from little things the world sets forth to keep you prisoner there. Value them not, and they will disappear. Esteem them, and they will seem real to you. Such is the choice. What loss can be for you in choosing not to value nothingness? This world holds nothing that you really want, but what you choose instead, you want indeed. Let it be given you today. It waits but for your choosing it, to take the place of all the things you seek but do not want. Practice your willingness to make this change 10 minutes in the morning and at night, and once more in between. Begin with this. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this, for here is nothing that I really want. Then close your eyes upon the world you see, and in the silent darkness, watch the lights that are not of this world light, one by one, until where one begins, another ends, loses all, until where one begins, another ends, loses all meaning as they blend in one. Today the lights of heaven bend to you, to shine upon your eyelids as you rest beyond the world of darkness. Here is light your eyes cannot behold, and yet your mind can see it plainly and can understand. A day of grace is given you today, and we give thanks. This day we realize that what you feared to lose was only loss. Now do we understand there is no loss, for we have seen its opposite at last, and we are grateful that the choice is made. Remember your decision hourly, and take a moment to confirm your choice by laying whatever thoughts you have and dwelling briefly only upon this. The world I see has nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. A couple things were popping out at me, going over this before we got online, but this idea of time, while we find ourselves in time, we place ourselves right there in that gap where nothing is happening, nothing is real, nothing will ever satisfy. In fact, the one that thinks that those things do satisfy is mythical me, and the end of that mythical me is death. So we're moving away. There is a world of timelessness, a time beyond matter. And what we value, he's saying, value them not. These little things that keeps us prisoner, chained, are substitutes for God, are idols. Value them not, and they will disappear, because they're only there because we valued them in the first place. That's the power of our mind. That's what you desire is what you experience. Esteem them, give them value, and they will seem real to you. Go ahead.
True, sis. I think the biggest thing for me in my experience, and I think you probably would agree with me from your experience, is that while we still believe we are the body and we value the body through the ego, and while we still believe we're mythical me, and we're trying to attain the impossible, which is to improve the mythical me, right? Yeah. And uphold special relationships with our, in our romantic relationships and families and friends, etc. We're not going to be able to see the real world.
That's right.
We really need tools to be able to take us across that bridge. And the biggest thing, apart from forgiveness, which is the number one function for salvation, is to learn to communicate authentically. And this is where most students and teachers really resist that, remembering that, you know, we're terrified to be real. We're terrified to be accountable, you know, willing to be radically self-honest, and, you know, the other keys too, defenseless, because it's the opposite to specialness, and it's the opposite to the way that the world perceives love with a small l. Yeah. So there's a process, there are tools that we need to use. And part of this particular lesson, and I think we might go on to it in the next lesson, but this one is beyond this world, there is a world I want, right? There is a world I want. We do need to be able to, or be willing to apply the actual tools there, which means to show up in our relationships and to show up and be real and learn how to communicate properly. So I think what I might do is post the 7 keys to authentic relating here, which go, I'm just writing myself a note here, which we cannot do this without it, because otherwise we just keep relating through the ego.
Right.
And it's going to keep us going for many illusory lifetimes. Yeah.
No, and it's interesting when you said forgiveness is the first one, and for the second one, I thought you were going to say holy relationship, but authentic relating is, you know, foundational for the holy relationship. You know, while we're straddling, we're learning about, you know, through the course, the nature and will of God and what we are and how the ego thought system works, and that they're totally inconsistent, complete opposites. The only thing that will make us or give us the incentive to make this choice, right? He says, here, such is your choice. You're experiencing what you value. And while the world's good, what the ego calls good, is the best thing that you've ever experienced, you're not going to let go of it. You're just not. You have to have a direct experience, because all the words in the book are never going to do it for you. It's a direct experience of something better.
Yeah. So we are talking about contrast learning, which we haven't really shared too extensively yet. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I just thought this would be a good time maybe just to introduce it, though, that once you start recognizing or practicing those 7 keys of authentic relating, as you forgive, as you start experiencing the holy instant and miracles, then you'll know. And that's when you'll have this incentive to say, wow, this world really doesn't hold anything that I want, because now I've tasted and tried what's really true. And you'll have the comparison.
Yeah.
And now you will make that choice. And so, and it's happening. It's organic and it's happening, and you're perfectly poised. And I'm sure most of you, and if you haven't, it's coming, you know, have had these experiences where the veil falls and you have a direct experience or a revelation and true joining with a brother, that closing of the gap experience, real love, changeless love. Yeah. Anyway.
Which has nothing to do with romance, by the way.
None.
Yeah.
No, it's inclusive. It's inclusive.
Okay. Can't go into that direction right now. I wish we could, though.
Yeah, well.
Okay. So what, for those of you who are not familiar with this, in the description box on YouTube, see down there, description box, or the show more box, we have quite a comprehensive list of resources down there. And one of those is the 7 keys of authentic relating. So please, if you haven't already, check that out, printed it out, and put it in every room of your house, on the outside of the refrigerator and the inside of the refrigerator.
The backside of your eyelids, tattoo it to your eyelids, yes.
Exactly. It is going to help immensely. These 7 keys are for us to use. If we're in a partnership relationship with others who are not on this Course in Miracles pathway, we can't expect them to also take on these 7 keys of authentic relating. This is about us becoming more authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of that, of course, they'll become more authentic too. Yeah,
Yes.
they'll see the changes, etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Self-love results from being authentic.
Yeah.
There's the gift that's coming for you. All right. Thank you. Anything else, sis, on this one? It isn't
Lots, but I think we don't have the time right now. Just let me check. I think I might have made a no. Okay, good. Nope, that's it. Beyond this world, there is a world I want.
Oh, I know that it will be given you. All our part is the election. We make the choice and it's given. Just like the mind is restored when it's freed from its chains, it does it naturally. Yes, this real world is given us when it's what we desire. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and it's true because in the place that I'm experiencing right now is all my needs are met. They're certainly not met the way that the ego mind had envisaged it.
Right.
But they are met, Holy Spirit has met all my human needs here in the world while I'm here, as because I've prioritized my single function, right, which is forgiveness. And of course, authentic relating and holy relationship. So, yeah, that's it.
Being in the flow.
Yeah,
All
being in the flow.
are
That's it.
removed. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
So we're living from the holy self, not the ego self that's full of fear.
And then it's proven that God doesn't require our sacrifice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It's true. He loves you. It's really real.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you, sis, and thank
Yeah.
you, everyone. Thanks, beautiful family. We love you. Thank
Love you
you.
very much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.